A common observation we've heard time and again this summer is that it's been unusually humid, even in places where it hasn't been extremely rainy. Now, as for that rain, here's how the 3-month period from June to August ranks historically at some observing sites in the state. Rainiest summer on record in State College in Williamsport, Reading as well. Second rainiest in Harrisburg, top 5, Wilkes-Barre and Altoona. But notice around the edges, Erie, Bradford, Philadelphia. It was not a notably rainy summer, but even there it was an unusually humid summer. And to quantify that, we'll use the dew point. Just as a reminder, here's our dew point cheat sheet. 65 is a threshold for uncomfortable, while 70 is downright oppressive. And we'll look at data from 4 representative locations across the state, starting in the west in Pittsburgh. Here's the number of hours when the dew point was 65 or higher there for every summer going back to 1973. Now, 2018 is shaded yellow and is the most of all, nearly 1,000 hours, which works out to about 11 hours per day on average. You have to go back to 2005 to find anything comparable. Now let's head north to Bradford, where the observing site is 2,100 feet above sea level. So the number of hours with a high dew point is less than in Pittsburgh, but 2018 sticks out as unusual even more than in Pittsburgh. No year since the 1970s comes close to this year in Bradford in terms of the number of really muggy hours. And now let's head southeast of the mountains to Harrisburg, where dew points tend to be higher on average, so I've increased the threshold to 70 degrees there. But the message is the same. 2018 had the greatest number of hours of those high dew points going back all the way to the mid-1990s, about 720 hours at 70 or higher. That's equivalent to 24 hours a day for a full month. And now finally, let's head into northeastern Pennsylvania, the Wyoming Valley to Wilkes-Barre. Still using the 70-degree dew point threshold, the summer of 2018 really stands out, unprecedented in the last 55 years in terms of its mugginess. So why such a humid summer? Well, where it's been rainy, wet surfaces, of course, mean more water for evaporation, which raises the amount of water vapor in the air, which is, after all, what the dew point measures. But other factors were at play. The story begins over the North Atlantic, where water temperatures were warmer than average this summer by 2 to 4 degrees over a pretty large area. Now, this warm water helped nudge the average position of the Bermuda High a bit farther north and east than usual, and that impacted the winds on its western flank, allowing a bit more of a southeasterly component. And of course, for us, that's a moist wind off the ocean, and that anomaly in the wind helped tip the scales toward unusually high humidity. Of course, the summer siege of sultriness has continued into September and isn't confined to just Pennsylvania. Places such as Portland, Maine, Boston, Hartford, to name a few, also experienced their most humid summer in at least 50 years. Is a break in the humidity in store? We'll tell you that in the extended forecast next.